and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and it's time to do the month review again. So let's get into it. This month has been a lot of experiments, mostly with things that are kind of easy, and then kind of it sort of ramped up. So a bit of the whole in like a lamb, out like a lion. I think that's how the saying goes for March, right? Which is, that's about snow. This is bracelets, but similar, yes, I guess. So this was the first one I did, and really super easy, beginner friendly bracelet. It was similar to something else that we had worked on last month. I just went at it, made it bigger. I'm sure the pattern's probably out there already somewhere, but I didn't use anybody else's. I just kind of made this up myself. It's really simple. It's just like candy stripes with, you know, dots and stuff on every other row. So that was kind of neat. So this kicked off a what else could I do with it kind of challenge for myself. And yeah, it went into the next one, which was keep the outer layer still being, you know, making the check boxes, but the inner stuff, make the colors fade from the middle going outwards. So that made it a little bit harder, not terribly hard, but you know, it added a little bit to the challenge and made for a really, really pretty bracelet, right? So then the thought was, what if the dots stayed the same, but the outer, the rows out here changed colors? So we went through a cycle of reds and stuff, and that went pretty cool. I like this one. It seems to me like I could have messed around with the colors a bit more and made this into a very strawberry looking pattern. So yeah, made it slightly more difficult. Like I said, you know, we changed the rows. So the next one, we went and I changed the rows and changed the inner colors and made it so that way the inner colors were light fading out to the dark on the outside, and the rows were dark fading out to light. So trying to develop a little bit of contrast here. Again, turned out really super cool. I really like this one too. It's really fun. So yeah, then after that, I came up with this idea of trying to go back to being easy. And so the rows that are where the dots are, they keep changing colors, but they just go straight down. So there's a lot less zigzag knots, and just really simplifies it, and it makes it look really pretty. It's a great looking bracelet, and made it a lot more beginner friendly. So we didn't go in order from like easiest to hardest. We went in order of what I imagined to what came next. So yeah, and then this one, we left the dots to be the same, and we made the rows come out in straight lines. So yeah, again, making it kind of easy, but also making it rather different. And yeah, it's kind of fun. I kind of feel like this one might have been better if the light blue had maybe been a different color, maybe a little bit more contrasting. But overall, it's a great pattern itself. So if you try making it, you know, yourself, perhaps you could share what you came up with me over on Discord, because I think the pattern itself is nice. It just maybe needed some better colors. All right, so the next one was somebody had a photo and they wanted a pattern that they could work from, and so I did it for them. It was 26 strings originally, so I reduced this one down to 24 so I could have a really cool looking kumi loop. And yeah, pretty much the pattern is exactly the same though, other than the fact that there's just not a thicker row on the outside, which I don't think it really needed to actually look cool. So that was pretty neat. And I thought, well, what if we reduce this down, instead of 24 strings, we took it down to 16, right? So 8 going into the loop. And that's what this one was. So that was kind of cool. I thought that would be a neat one that, you know, and I think it turned out pretty cool. You see, still have like the zigzag on the outside going on, kind of cool. But then I was like, if we can reduce it to 16, what if we reduced it to 12? And so I did. And we lose that outer zigzag thing, but we still get some cool colors in here. It's a really fun, smaller bracelet. So the three of these, really, it's all the same basic theme, just depending on how wide you want to make it. And I think it makes it kind of fun. So no matter which one you want to try, I think there's one that'll suit you just fine. And then the last one, this is super hard. Well, it is, but it isn't. Once you get the pattern kind of going and you're actually working it and you know that it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, it's not so bad. And you can follow my pattern exactly and it'll turn out just like this. It's just, it doesn't look like there's a distinct pattern going on unless you really scrutinize over the way it goes, because it looks random, and that's just because of the number of the colors. There's only like 3 blue and 3 red, and there's 4 black and 4 white, and something about that kind of makes it mix up a bit more than you might expect, which makes it kind of cool. It was a design of an elastic belt, and somebody wanted to make that design be a bracelet. So hopefully this is what they wanted. I'm not really sure if they might have wanted to know how to braid the belt pattern, which is 17 strings. So not really into just doing braids. So hopefully this is what they wanted. That's it. That's what I made this month. I think we have quite the cool selection here. And hopefully I've inspired you guys to try something new and different. And yeah, thanks for watching. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.